Okay guys, I just had an absolute mare. I just recorded this whole video, but I thought I was recording it, but I hadn't actually pressed record on the camera. So I'm now trying to find the willpower to redo this entire video. Just laughing about it because if I don't laugh, I'm gonna cry. Okay. Let's just get into this. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For anyone new here, my name is Alana. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing some of my top tips using the curling barrels in the Dyson Airwrap kit. Also guys, I just want to really quickly mention I am in the middle of hair training my hair, so it is greasy right now. If you watched some of my other videos, you may have heard me talk about it. Last year, I spent months hair training my hair so that I only had to wash it once a week rather than washing it every other day. I'm now wanting to get to the point where I now wash it maybe every 2 weeks. So we're on day 13 right now and it is quite greasy. I have not sprayed any dry shampoo in it because guys, you know what? Having greasy hair is natural. We all have greasy hair. Yeah, and I mean, I just want to be real over in this channel. I want to keep it as real as possible. I've also decided that, you know what, in some of these tutorials coming up, I'm probably not going to be wearing any makeup because I do enjoy doing my makeup, but sometimes it's actually the reason that puts me off recording these videos. I just think, oh my goodness, I cannot be bothered spending like half an hour, 40 minutes putting on a face of makeup. So I've just decided, guys, I'm just gonna come on here however I want to come on here. This is my channel and I just want it to be real and relatable because we all have days where we wake up and we can't be bothered doing our hair or we can't be bothered putting on makeup, and on the days that I don't feel like that but I still want to record a video, I'm just gonna do that. I just thought I'd let you guys know. Not that I need to, but I just thought that I would. Also guys, if you are interested in learning how to train your hair so that you don't have to wash it as regularly, I am in the middle of making a little mini course for you guys. So you can sign up to my newsletter in the link in the description and I will be keeping you up to date when that is coming out. Also, I do have my Dyson Airwrap course that is going to be released very soon. But again, if you sign up to my mailing list, I will keep you up to date on when that is going to be released. So let's get started. I feel like the curling barrels is probably one of the most popular attachment in the Dyson Airwrap kit. And if you've watched any of my hair tutorials before, you will know that these are actually my least favorite attachment. It's not that I don't love them. I do. I love them. My absolute favorite is the round brush. I love that attachment. I use it all the time. And then over the last few months, I've really fallen in love with the smoothing brushes. And so that just kind of brings this attachment in last. Even though I love it and I think it's great, it is my least favorite. But I know that so many people, it's probably one of the sole reasons why they buy the Dyson Airwrap kit is because they want to use these barrels. So I thought that I would share some of my top tips so that you can utilize these to their fullest potential. So the first tip I want to share with you guys, and you may already know this because you may have watched some of my tutorials, obviously you can use these for curling your hair, but you can also use these for weaving your hair by simply turning the barrel upside down. I think that's something that actually you may be watching this and you may know that, but there's actually a lot of people that aren't aware of that. Whenever I release my hair tutorial showing you how to weave your hair using the curling barrels, I know that a lot of people was like, oh my god, I didn't even realize you could do that. So I wanted to share that tip for anyone who may potentially not know, because I think that sometimes I share things in these tutorials that I kind of just flippantly say, and then a lot of people will then pull that point out in the comments and then I realize, oh, quite a lot of people didn't know that, but I just assume that people know these things. So I've just realized with YouTube just to never assume. So that's why I wanted to share that tip with you guys. I do have a tutorial that you can go check that out so that you can see how I weave my hair using the curling barrels. So the second tip that I want to share with you is to figure out what curling barrel and what size works for your hair. So first of all, you can get different sizes of curling barrels. So I have thinner ones, I have thicker ones. Can't remember off the top of my head how many millimeters these are, so I'll whip that up on the screen. But because I have thick hair, I have a lot of hair, it's quite long, I tend to mainly use the thicker barrels. That is because it just reduces the time of me curling my hair so much more because I can take a thicker section. Also, because my hair is already quite thick, I can get away with having fewer curls because it naturally looks thick. But if you have quite thin hair, you don't have a lot of hair and you want your hair to look thicker, then I would suggest you going for the thinner barrels and using these a lot more, because the more curls you have, the more thicker and fuller your hair is going to appear. Also, because you don't have as much hair, you can kind of get away with maybe spending a little bit more time styling it. Also, there is long barrels and small barrels. So I don't actually have the smaller barrels, so I can't really show you a size comparison, but I will pop up on the screen a little picture so you can see the size comparison. I obviously have the long barrels. That is because I have long hair. If I were you, even if I had short hair, I would probably still opt for buying the longer barrels, because I feel like, what happens if you want to grow out your hair? What happens if your friend or your sister wants to buy your Dyson Airwrap and they have long hair? So even if you have short hair, I would still recommend going for the longer barrels, because it doesn't really hinder how you curl your hair. Whereas if you just went for the shorter barrels, and if you grew your hair, or if someone wanted to borrow it that had longer hair, it's just going to be a little bit more difficult. Absolutely, you can still curl your hair with long hair using the shorter barrels. It's just a lot more effective if you have the longer ones. I do know that you can buy the Dyson Airwrap complete long set, which is what I got. So I actually got these longer barrels included in my set, but if you didn't, you can buy longer barrels online. So guys, this next tip is to make sure your hair is about 80% dry. Now, I have shared this tip before and you will have heard it over and over again, but I'm sharing this tip for two reasons. First of all, your hair is going to wrap so much easily around the barrel if it's about 80% dry. So if it's too wet, it'll struggle to catch on and wrap around. If it's too dry, it'll struggle to catch on and wrap around. But also, you want that hair to be a little bit damp, so that whenever you're drying it, that is you drying your hair into that position. So if it's just dry, your hair's already dried in the position that it's dried. So your curl isn't going to last as long if you try and dry it from it being completely dry. Whereas if it's a little bit damp, your hair is going to take so much quicker and easier around the barrel, but that's also going to last a lot longer because you're going to be drying your hair into that curling position. So that also brings me on to the next tip, and again, maybe one that you've heard before. Whenever you're curling your hair, you make sure that you set it with a cold shot. Basically, whenever you're using the warm shot, that is basically creating that style, but whenever you're using the cold shot, that is going to help set that style. So that's why it's important for you to finish the curl with a cold shot. So the last tip I want to share, and one that I very rarely hear anyone talk about in all the Dyson Airwrap videos I have watched, and that is whenever you're using the curling barrels, you want to create tension in the curl. Again guys, not only is that going to create a tighter curl, it's going to help that curl last so much longer. What I mean by creating tension is I'm actually going to demonstrate. I'm going to take this section of hair, and whenever you roll your hair up, you can pull the curl in and out. But whenever you're doing that, you want to make sure you're creating tension in the hair. So you're really pulling the hair towards the barrel. Even though I've got a loose enough grip so that I can move the hair, I'm also being firm so that the hair is really sticking against the barrel. And of course, you always want to turn it off before releasing the curl. Look how perfect that is. So guys, that is just some of my top tips for using the barrels on the Dyson Airwrap. I hope that you found all of them, if not some of them, useful. These are ones that you've probably heard before and that I have discussed in some of the other videos, but I just wanted to create a video so that for people who hadn't watched any of my full-length tutorials on styling my hair, that they were able to just come to this video, just quickly pick up some tips that they can then go try out for themselves to be able to utilize the barrels to their fullest potential. If you have any tips of your own, please make sure you comment below. This is a community and I want everyone to share any tips that they have so that everyone else can see them. So if you're watching this video, make sure you have a quick scan of the comment section to see if there's any more tips that you can read up on. Also, I can then try them out for myself and share them with everyone else on here. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time.